In this powerful video, we'll be revealing exactly what you need to do now to stop him pulling away and instead draw him back to you for a deeply loving relationship right away. If you neglect to learn these powerful secrets, then you can unfortunately find yourself in a situation where he continues to lose interest and pulls away even more, creating a downward spiral of neglect, disinterest, and ultimate rejection. I'm Brody Boyd with Magnetize Your Man, and I discovered these secrets because it was exactly what my wife Antia used on me that caused me to re-engage and reignite the passion I was feeling in my heart to continue developing a deeply committed and happy relationship with her. The fifth secret you need to understand with this is that men and women are fundamentally different. Men are operating from their masculine core, and every man has a masculine core at his center in his masculine instinct. Every woman has a feminine core, a feminine instinct. And so knowing this allows you to realize how to operate differently with a man to cause him to react and respond differently to you. Now, through the law of polarity, which states that opposite energies attract, the only thing that's going to create real attraction, interest, passion, and devotion long-term with a man is masculine-feminine polarity. Him being in his masculine and you fully being in your feminine energy. Now, the beautiful thing as well is that through the law of polarity, we don't actually need to change him. All we need to change you, which is beautiful that we have you listening right now. Because if we can inspire you and get you into more of your open, magnetic, feminine energy, you will inspire him and cause him to be more in his healthy masculine energy, where he becomes more of a protector, provider, a pursuer of you, a hero for you. He's starting to lead and move the relationship forward when he can feel that powerful, magnetic, open, warm, soft, and available feminine energy inside of you. Now, the fourth secret that you need to understand is that he will not come back to you because you want him to, only because he is inspired to. Anytime you're trying to lead or control or guide your man or manipulate your man in some way, you are operating from masculine energy. You're trying to get an outcome from him. Here's the thing. The masculine energy is the energy of getting outcomes, of achieving goals, of being singular focused and making things happen. The feminine energy is about being detached from the outcome. It is about being openness. It is about signaling to a man that you are available and signaling your desires and your needs to him in the right way, in a feminine, respectful way that we teach. Now, that's going to allow him to then come to you because he's inspired to, because he feels that motivational pull within himself to feel like he wants to help, he wants to provide, he wants to give, he wants to help you, and ultimately that he wants to make your heart happy. A masculine man is showing care for your heart. He's wanting to make things better in whatever way you need things to be better in your relationship. So you have to inspire him into this. The first step with this is making sure you are not going into masculine energy and criticizing, controlling, complaining, trying to guide him or lead him in any way or mothering him. You have to stop the bad behavior. There's an old saying that says, if you find yourself in a hole, you need to stop digging. Or, as Mr. Wonderful says, stop the madness. Stop the masculine energy. Stop trying to get him to do anything. Stop trying to get him to come closer to you or to get him to want you. You can't control him ultimately. All you can control is yourself. And that's beautiful because it's causing you to come back to yourself and your feminine energy. Just like the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. You cannot change him. You cannot control him. You cannot cause him to do anything. All you can do is cause yourself to do things, cause your own energy to shift, being in your feminine through vulnerability, through sharing your feelings, through being open and available and respectful. And we teach all of these in our courses, in our coaching, how to be available and open to a man to actually cause him to come closer to you. So being in your feminine and being in your magnetic feminine, that's what's going to inspire him and open him to be available, to want to pursue you, to want to initiate, to want to chase you, to want to come closer to you. And respectfully, you can also put boundaries on yourself as well to prevent yourself from going into the activities that might have subtly pushed him away in the past, such as trying to guide him, sending him reminders, giving things to him, trying to help and provide for him in some way, which are all masculine energy. So we have to put those boundaries on yourself. One easy way is asking permission. Anytime you feel compelled to want to tell him what to do or to want to try to control him in some way, instead ask his permission. Say, could I share something with you? Could I ask you a question? Could I ask if you could help me with something? Could I ask you for your advice with something? So this can be a guardrail to prevent yourself from going into masculine energy, which would cause him either to have to submit to your leadership and become a shell of a man, or to argue or fight with you in some way, or to pull away and close up even more. The third secret is to realize that if he doesn't invest into you, then he cannot value you. Think of this like an investment. In the investment world, if a man or somebody is purchasing a home, a rental property, some gold, some Bitcoin, some stocks, etc., what are they doing when they are purchasing that thing? They are investing into it. They are committing and they're putting their value, their sense of energy, time, money, resources into that thing that they are purchasing. So let's use the example of purchasing a piece of property. If a man is purchasing a piece of property, then what does he also do? He's not just investing into it once, but he continues to invest into that property. He is remodeling it. He is fixing it up. He is maintaining it. He's making sure it's taken care of so he can maximize and get the most value out of his investment, of enjoying his investment. Maybe it is even his home that he lives in. He's taking care of it. He's building it. He's managing it. He's expanding it. He's making sure that it is doing well. And so it is a very similar concept when a man is investing into you. If a man hasn't invested into something, if he was just given something for free, oftentimes there is no value that he has ascribed to that. For example, that old saying, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? If something is so readily available and just given to somebody, so for example, like dirt on the ground, it has very little value for someone, as opposed to if someone had to mine in the earth and dig deep to find a diamond, to actually get that diamond and polish it up and put it on a ring, then that is an investment. That is putting the time and energy into that thing. So in order for a man to really value you, you have to shift this dynamic around and actually inspire him to start investing more into the relationship. One of the easy ways to start doing this is actually asking him for help, which can feel really vulnerable. Being available, being open with where you do need help, and being respectful by making your requests for help from a man. So asking him for help with a problem you're dealing with, asking him for help with a specific emotion that you're feeling, asking him for his advice with something, or if you have an issue, something even easy to fix potentially, like your car is having an issue, or your home is having an issue, or your computer is broken in some way, and knowing especially what your man has a unique skill set in, to ask him for those things that he can easily fix with his given skill set and the things he's good at. That'll make it easy for him to be able to start investing into you, investing into the relationship. And what you can do is you can activate and you can spark this investment instinct within him, the hero instinct, to want to continue to invest and to provide and to give to you, because he's going to feel good about it. Now, here's the thing. A masculine man gets his sense of purpose and value in the world by knowing that he is able to provide in some way. He's able to make the people around him happy. He's able to give some sort of value. If he feels like you're a strong, independent woman, that you don't really need no man, that you're good, then he's going to feel like, why am I needed here? I can't really make you happy. You're happy on your own. You seem to have everything handled. I can't really provide and give to you. Or if you actually do need things provided by him that you've been suffering for a while, you've been wanting him to give those things to you, but you've been asking in a way that's disrespectful, or asking in a way or trying to manipulate him in a way to give you those things that is using masculine energy, he's also not going to feel good about that, because he's still going to feel like he's being controlled, he's being led, rather than he was inspired into wanting to help you through your vulnerability and your respect and your trust of him. Because ultimately the masculine wants to be trusted and respected. Those are the deepest desires of the masculine. The feminine wants to be adored and cherished. So by you trusting and respecting him and being vulnerable and available and asking and making requests that allow him to give to you, you inspire his sense of investment in the relationship and make him value you more. The second secret is to continue to meet his deepest needs for trust and respect. And we talked about how important trust and respect is to a man, and every man has this at some level within his being. So if you continue to meet his needs for trust and respect, he's going to continue to want to meet your needs for love and devotion. You have to do this in the right way. Just like in a dance. In a dance, for a man to lead you properly and to lead the dance properly, he has to feel like you trust and respect him to lead that dance. If you're constantly fighting him with his leadership, or if you are not following his leadership, like, I don't trust your leadership, or you are disrespecting him and saying like, oh, you're not leading very well, or you're a pretty bad lead, or you're not showing care for me and you need to change that, then he's going to feel disrespected, and he's also not going to want to continue to be a leader for you. And yes, there are men out there who are bad leads, who don't know how to lead you well, who are incompetent in some way, or they're bad men. They're sociopaths, they're narcissists, and there's a certain percentage of men, around 5 to 10%, that are just simply broken and they're not capable of being a good lead for you and leading the relationship forward. And if that's the case, you need to be willing to respectfully set a boundary with yourself and detach from the situation or detach from the relationship. Be willing to walk away, because a high value queenly woman is also not going to stay in a situation that is not good for her, that is not enjoyable and filling her up as well. So you need to be willing to trust and respect a man who is trustworthy and respectable, and find those things about him that are trustworthy and respectable, and appreciate those things about him and give him that respect and let him know how you admire him or how you respect him or that you trust his leadership. You let him make those decisions. You let him take the lead on things within your relationship and your life so that he can feel like a man. He can feel connected to his masculine instinct and masculine core and feel like this is a dance I can continue. This is a dance I want to keep leading her. This is enjoyable for me and I can make her happy. And she seems to be enjoying my leadership as well. And now you can create that healthy, fun, enjoyable dance between the two of you where he's in his masculine, you're in feminine, and you're able to simply then enjoy and relax and trust the process. So you have to find those ways to trust and respect him. And one of the big things we already mentioned is asking permission can be a big piece of that. Also sharing appreciation and sharing how you feel. Now, here's the thing with appreciation. Appreciation isn't simply saying thank you, you're doing a good job, etc. It's more so sharing how he makes you feel. When he is doing something that makes you feel good, that you're sharing that with him, sharing the feeling. When you opened the door for me, it made me feel so taken care of and cherished. Thank you. Or when you solved this problem for me with my car, it made me feel so happy and grateful, and I'm so excited to be able to use it again. Thank you so much. So these are examples of you sharing your heart openly, sharing the positive of what he's doing so you can give him that positive reinforcement even in small ways so he starts to expand on that and become more of that for you. Now, we've often taught this to our clients. There's a special text you can send, which we call the appreciation bomb text that we teach in our courses and some of our coaching, which allows you to actually send a message to a man of appreciation in the right way that can reactivate his masculine instinct and actually make him want to start continuing to initiate and pursue with you in your relationship. So that's a very powerful example of how you can use appreciation, even with a man who hates you, who's disconnected, who's broken up with you, that you can send a powerful message of appreciation that can reactivate and respark within him this desire to want to be your hero, to want to do more things that you appreciate, and to feel good that he can actually make you happy and that he can provide value in some way from his healthy masculine core. Now, the first secret is you have to use magnetic feminine polarity and magnetic feminine communication to reveal your full authentic self to him. So a man ultimately wants to feel your heart. He wants to know what's going on within you. And all of your emotions are beautiful to a man. All of your emotions are the feminine energy, just like the weather. It's changing. Sometimes it's beautiful blue skies. Sometimes it's rainy with rainbows. Other times it may be a hurricane or a tsunami. Now, the key is, how are those emotions being channeled? Because the emotions themselves are beautiful, but if you're putting all of your emotions onto him and saying, you made me feel sad, or you hurt me, you're not being a good partner, you're not being a good boyfriend in some way, you screwed up, you're doing a bad job, or you're stupid or incompetent or evil in some way, that's going to push him away because that's making the emotions targeted at him and using it to criticize and blame him and disrespect him potentially. So that's going to push him away. Of course, the emotions are beautiful, but how are you using those emotions? So you want to be able to share those emotions that are behind all of that in a way that he can actually receive it and not feel like he's being criticized, blamed, or attacked, which will only make him defensive or that cause him to submit and become a shell of a man or cause him to actually fight you and argue with you. So, or close up and pull away. So we want to avoid that and instead share your heart, share your emotions in a way that actually draw him in, make him feel your heart, and make him feel that you are not trying to control him. So an easy way to do this would to be using I statements, I feel statements, where you're not making it about him, you're making it about yourself. For example, I feel sad, or I feel angry, or I feel confusion, or I feel anxiety, I feel fear. These are statements that make it about you, not about him. Instead of saying you make me feel sad, you make me feel anxiety, you make me feel fear, that's making it about him, and that's an attack, that's a blame, that's a criticizing, and that's ultimately trying to control him and trying to get him to change in some way or do something that you want him to do, which is masculine. Remember, the masculine is getting outcomes and telling what to do. The feminine is enjoying the process, is being, and is sharing feelings, sharing problems, sharing desires, needs, where you're at, what's going on for you in your heart, but doing so respectfully. So that way you're not like the tsunami coming at him. Instead, you're like maybe the beautiful rain shower that he gets to witness and is washing over his skin and making him feel refreshed with those emotions. So there's different ways, powerful ways that you can actually share your heart vulnerably and authentically and respectfully with him that causes him to feel you and empathize with you and want to help and want to change and want to come closer to you on his own. And that's why we teach, and what's so powerful to use is magnetic feminine polarity and all the principles and techniques involved with that, as well as magnetic feminine communication that allows you to communicate in a proper way that brings him close to you and makes him actually understand, first and foremost, what's going on for you, because men aren't mind readers. Then he empathizes with your emotions as well, and then he wants to help. He's inspired into his hero instinct, just like the knight in shining armor, wanting to rescue the damsel, wanting to help, wanting to provide, wanting to give to you. And now you get that healthy masculine feminine dynamic happening in your relationship again, and that is what ultimately brings him closer to you. Next, if you'd like to learn more of these principles and get our coaching support with doing this for you and helping you out with your specific situation with him to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship that you want, then take our free love quiz by clicking on the link in the description or comments below, or going to our special website at magnetizeyourman.com. Much love, hope this was helpful, and we look forward to helping you more with this journey very soon.